control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to this live training I'm doing exclusively for the followers and subscribers of Princess Fizz. So this is because we had a lot of technical difficulties on our interview the other day. So I wanted to really over-deliver and help you guys out by sharing this live training with you. This is going to be full on, 60 to 90 minutes of pure content to really help you become a great speaker and hold your own live seminars and workshops so that you can really help more people, make a bigger difference, and earn a lot more money. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is that first question: do you want to make more money? And not only make more money, but do you want to make more money in a way that actually saves you time? Because we don't want to work more, earn more money just to spend more time at work. So do you still want to make more money but work less time? And more importantly, do you want to make that money in a way that helps people, makes a difference, is truly fulfilling for you, allows you to be your true self, and allows you to just make a real difference and not just make money? So think about that. Is that you? I want you to really think about that before we head into this webinar, because this is who that's for. So I'll tell you a little bit about me in just a bit so you can see who I am speaking to you right now. And basically, like I said, if you are looking to make more money in less time and help more people, this is definitely the right place for you. So if we think about it, at the moment, you must be doing something. You must be following a strategy or an approach that is making you the amount of money that you're currently making. I think we can agree on that. And would you also agree then that most coaches, trainers, and experts tend to trade their time for money? So a lot of us are doing that. We're still trading hours or sessions even for money. So if that's the case, would you also agree then that there is a limitation to our time? And if there's a limitation to our time, there has to be a limitation to our income and a limitation to the amount of people we can actually serve. So what I want to speak to you today about is the skill of public speaking and holding your own live events, seminars, and workshops. Because if you do want to earn more money and help more people, get a bigger reach, but do it in less time, then this is going to be the best plan of attack for you. There's many different ways to create income streams, I know that, but I'm going to raise the case today for why live events might be the right thing for you to try and consider. So some of you watching this, maybe you're doing some live events already. Maybe you've tried a few, or you've appeared as a guest at other people's events, and that's great. And maybe some of you watching this have been wanting to do it but have not taken the plunge yet. So my goal is really in this 90 minutes, not just to educate you, but also to inspire you to really take action and go and do this, because there's no harm in trying. Okay, this is not like where you publish a book and then you publish 10,000 copies, and then if you don't sell any, they're all stuck in your back room. Okay, this is a live event where you can take a gamble, you put it on, follow the steps I teach you, and it's going to go fine. And it's very, very easy to make your money back to at least break even. So even on your first event, if it doesn't go according to plan, you might lose a little bit of money, or you'll probably just break even. But really, there's so little downside that more people can do this, because at a live event, don't forget, you can plan to hold a live event to 10 people if you like. It hasn't got to be, thousands and thousands of huge crowds. But if you publish a book or you start something else like that, you've kind of got to go all or nothing. Live events allow you to start at your own pace. If you want to start with a 10-person workshop, great. Start with that and build up as you get more comfortable. There's literally so little for you to actually lose and everything for you to gain. So, like I said, so you need a vehicle. If you are not where you want to be financially right now, or you do have the money, but you're spending too much time to get that money, and you see no way to leverage and scale your business, then I would highly suggest considering live seminars and workshops to be your vehicle to move to that place you want to be at. So why do this right now? Of all the things you could choose, like I said, there's many reasons public speaking is great, but the main one, I believe, apart from the ability to sell one-to-many instead of one-to-one, and the ability to charge higher fees because you're live on stage and have that authority, and aside from the fact that if you speak on stage locally, it's very likely that none of your competitors will, so you'll instantly stand out as the leading authority in your market. And aside from the thrill of helping so many people at once, aside from the fact that you could maybe get 30, 50, or 100 testimonial videos done from one workshop, whether you sell anything or not, apart from the fact that it's also the fastest way to grow your email list locally, so many reasons, so many logical, technical reasons. But the most important reason, the reason I am such a believer in live events, is because as much as I love one-to-one coaching, and my one-to-one coaching program is completely full right now, but as much as I love that, it can still get a little bit insular, a little bit isolated. And there's nothing like the thrill and the fulfillment that comes when you step on stage in front of 50 or 100 or 200, or just this week, I presented to 1,000 people this week. There's nothing quite like that I've experienced. It's a bit like you're a rock star in some kind of ways. And it's not because of the ego for you. It really is a rush of helping so many people to inspire them. And you can help people with webinars like this and articles and different things and videos. But really, when you see that in-person connection and the energy, that's what I'm trying to say. It's that energy you get in a room that is really unmatched, aside from one-to-one. But when you magnify that with 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000, you're going to help so many people really make a difference in the world and be a real instigator of change. And as they say, the more people you help get what they want, you get what you want. So that's basically my case of why live events and workshops are a great strategy for you to do. And here's the best part. Ask yourself this. Do you have knowledge of something? Would you consider yourself an expert in something? Here's another question to ask. Have you suffered a deep pain in life and overcome that pain? So let me tell you this. If you've experienced pain and you've overcome pain, you should be on stage. It's as simple as that. If you've overcome a pain and you're still here and you're still going, you've overcome that pain somehow. And I can guarantee you there are people, huge groups of people, that want to pay you to know how you did it. They want to pay you for the information you already have inside of you. And if you can take that pain, if you've been hurt in life, if you've suffered great loss, you can now have an opportunity. Speaking is a way to take that pain and to transmute it into helping more people so that those painful events didn't happen in vain. I hope that makes sense to you. And it might sound a little woo-woo and a little bit airy-fairy, you know, but it's really what I believe, and I hope you can see that it's authentic and it's true for me. If you have a pain, you can be sharing it with dozens or hundreds or thousands of people, literally by this time next month. It's your choice. So that's why I believe you have a gift inside of you. All you haven't been given yet, or what you haven't been taught, is how to package that intellectual property that you have, that knowledge, that expertise. You just need to learn how to package it, how to promote it, so that people can access it and they will pay you money for it. And when you do that, you're basically going to be a successful, renowned, influential speaker. So you can do this. I really believe you can do this. So maybe you're wondering right now, who am I? Who is this guy telling you to go out there on stage and change the world? Well, my name is Justin Devonshire. If you saw the Skype session I did with Princess Fizz, you'll know a bit more. But just in case you missed that, my name is Justin Devonshire. I run a few companies actually, one of which is Born to Succeed, and that's the business I'm speaking to you through right now. So Born to Succeed is a consultancy I run where we help coaches, trainers, experts, consultants, speakers, and authors to position themselves as the premium choice in their local market and to charge the fees they're worth and attract more clients. And basically my kind of magic skill, you could call it, the thing I'm generally known for, is taking any coach, consultant, or trainer and getting them from 0 to 6 figures in 90 days or less. And I know the system to do that because I've done it myself. I've done it myself 3 times in my own businesses, and I've done it for business owners and coaches all around the world, offline, online, however. And I've done it for many, many people. And I've consulted with businesses doing 6 figures, and I've consulted and some of my clients do $20 million a year. So everything in between, I've kind of seen all the workings of businesses, of all those things in between, and I know the things that trip up coaches and trainers. And I also know where the big opportunities are, and that's how I know for sure live seminars and workshops are definitely one of the best paths to focus on as an income stream. So this is just a quick photo of me. This was an event I did this last week. We presented twice in one day. Our room was only capable of holding 500 people, and we were getting over 1,000 people registering for our live event. So we ended up booking the venue twice in one day. We did one morning session and then one evening session, each with over 400 entrepreneurs, coaches, trainers, experts like yourself. And for this occasion, we partnered with Bill Walsh, who's known as America's #1 small business expert. He has consulted, he's taught the likes of Brian Tracy, Les Brown. He's worked with T. Harv Eker, Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's spoken on stages all around the world. And he takes companies from 0 up to multi-millions. So Bill is just one of the multi-millionaire speaker partners we've partnered with to hold live events, and one of the guys I actually consult and help on their marketing for them as well. As you can see, through this kind of expert positioning, we've been featured very promptly in Forbes magazine, on the cover of Forbes, Cosmopolitan, various national TV stations, radio stations. These are some stations in Romania where most of our business is held. I'm originally from the UK, but I have a business in Romania and also a business in Cyprus. So I like to travel around and make things happen. I like to live the laptop lifestyle. And fortunately, speaking allows me to do that because I can earn as much money in one event as I used to earn in 3 months. And I want the same thing to happen for you. So that's a little bit of who I am and how I teach this. One more thing I'll say is that the reason I believe I'm qualified to be teaching this is I run 2 other businesses. So first we have Born to Succeed. And the way I get most of my revenue from Born to Succeed is live events like the one you see in this photo. So our consulting clients come from there, I promote different high-end boot camps and workshops for entrepreneurs. And also then we make money from doing joint venture partnerships with other big speakers on a revenue share, which is another option you can consider if you don't want to do speaking, but you have a database or you have some kind of influence in a niche. If you can find a big speaker to come in and split a revenue share with you, that's easy money too. So we use live events to fuel this business and to get known quickly. Now, my other business is Body Shape Transformation Center, which is a fitness, personal development, and health program, a physical facility which is totally outsourced. I have 8 employees who run that for me in a different country over in Romania. And we took that business very quickly from zero this January up to doing over 20,000 euros a month within 4 to 5 months. And again, interestingly, we were getting so many leads that our salespeople, our coaches, couldn't actually do the one-to-one consultations. So we would attract maybe 200 or 300 leads a day with Facebook marketing and some other things, and they just couldn't do all the consultations. They couldn't do all the phone calls. So we realized we had to leverage our salespeople, and now we actually do 2 live events, 2 little seminars at our gym facility every single week. Since January, we've done 2 live events every single week where my coaches, I've trained them to convert those people. They come for a free event, they come to learn about what we do and learn some health tips, and then our coaches will give them an offer to join our gym program. And at the moment, our coaches are getting 30 to 50% conversions of those people twice every week. So live events fuels that business. And then more recently, I've just started a new business in personal development, which is called the Empowered Women's Club. So this is a monthly live event. So the actual product, the way this works is we have a live event every month, which is for empowering females, and we bring in guest speakers. So we bring in speakers on spirituality, sexuality, women's career, business, finance, relationships, parenting, anything that females interested in personal development want to learn about. And we bring the guest speakers in, we train those speakers, and those speakers will sell their products. Most of those speakers are my Born to Succeed clients who are now launching their speaking careers. They speak at those events and we share the revenue with them. So we're actually nurturing and growing a huge tribe of the new leaders of speaking in Romania and around Europe, and my clients in Australia, America, and around the world. So that's basically 3 businesses and 3 different types of revenue streams you can make from live events. You can, like I said, have them as sell products from the stage, sell boot camps and get consulting clients. You can fuel people into a membership program, or you can offer it like Empowered Women, where you have speakers come in and you do revenue shares and they do all the work for you. You just fill the room up. So that's a little bit about me and my background in public speaking. Now, a lot of people teach the art of public speaking, but very, very few teach you about the business component of it and how it ties in with marketing and promoting and sales. So I'm going to share a bit of that on this seminar with you. So is it okay with you guys? We're going to crack in. I'm going to teach you some great stuff about being a speaker right now. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So on this screen, you should be able to see 4 elements. Now these are the 4 main things you must master to not only be a good speaker, not only to keep speaking as a hobby, but in order to make a career, make an income, a reliable, predictable, recurring income from speaking. See, this is the big mistake I see a lot of speakers or wannabe speakers making. They treat speaking like a hobby. Okay, they'll do it once in a while. They'll put an event on, and I used to do this myself. So I'm not pointing the finger here. When I first started, I would put one event on, I would attract maybe 30 or 50 people. I wouldn't sell that well, so I would kind of put the idea on the back burner, go back to my normal business, come back, try again. And it was like a hobby to me until I learned the steps and the structure to make it a reoccurring, profitable, systemizable model of income. If you learn that, that's when you're going to take off. And let me tell you, any coach, trainer, speaker, or author, or consultant watching this, if you do this right, these steps I'm going to share with you, you should be generating at least £10,000 or 10,000 euros a month from speaking engagements. No problem. Okay, and we'll get to that a bit later on. So there's 4 elements. First of all, we have at the top, planning your event. So a lot of speakers, they get confused because they're not sure what type of event to do. They're not sure how to speak. They're not sure where it fits into their business model. They're not sure why they're doing it. And it just raises so many questions. And it's basically, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Now, secondly, to the right of the screen, we have promoting the event. This is one of the big areas coaches and trainers tend to trip up on, because we tend to be good at our knowledge, our expertise, but then we lack in the marketing and sales department. So you've got to be able to promote your event, to put the bums in the seats, or otherwise there's no point doing it. You'll end up doing a lot of one-to-one consultations if your seminars don't go that well. Now, at the bottom of the screen, we have the perform like a pro. So there's a couple of aspects to this. You need to perform, you need to learn the art of public speaking, and you need to learn how to structure a talk that is professional, authentic, and still fits into your business strategy. And I'll talk about that later on. And finally, over to the left, we have profit, selling to the masses. This is the good bit. This is the best bit. This is where you get to help more people and make more money. But it's also the part most coaches get wrong and neglect totally. So I'm going to cover all these areas today. All right, or at least we'll do what we can. So what I started doing was I started taking coaches and trainers and experts through this system, and I developed a number of systems and formulas to create a solution for each of these 4 aspects. These are the 4 biggest problems coaches and trainers have, the reason why they don't do live events. They don't know how to plan it, don't know how to promote it, don't know how to perform, and don't know how to sell. So I came up with some frameworks that I want to walk you through right now to master these areas. So the first one, as you can see, to deal with planning. Who has been in this situation? Okay, maybe you're going to do a live event, you've been asked to do a seminar, and it's the night before, and you're looking at a blank PowerPoint screen, and you don't know what the hell to write first. Have you experienced that? Well, that's totally common, don't worry. A lot of newbie speakers will do that, but really it's fundamentally flawed, because what you want to do is, instead of starting from the slides, you actually want to start just by writing some notes of all the topics you want to cover in your talk. And then when you go through each of those points, you then want to ask, for each of these concepts you're going to teach, do I need a slide to visually aid this point? And a lot of the time, the answer will be no. And if you do it that way, you'll end up with a lot less slides, and your talk does not become this boring PowerPoint bullet point fest that is really boring to listen to, where most of the audience end up watching the screen, reading off the screen, rather than paying attention to you. So the first thing is to really cut down on the number of slides. I mean, we're probably 20 minutes into this training, and this is only the 3rd slide you've seen. Okay, so that comes into it basically, and what you want to do basically then is have a business blueprint, have a plan for all of this. So what we like to do is reverse engineer. Okay, so when you start your live event, rather than see the live event as the product, you want to start with the back end in mind and think, where do I want my client to get to? What do I actually want my client to buy from me in the end that makes the most money for the best leverage of my time? Maybe you have a boot camp or a workshop or a coaching program or an online program, whatever it might be. You want to start with that and figure out what are your goals for that. How many people do I want this month to sign up for this workshop, for example, which is at a fee? And then you can reverse engineer and work out how many people you will put into a room for a free event that you can then upsell to that workshop. So it's really getting it that way, making this speaking engagement strategic and making it fit in your business. That's the first thing you've got to learn to do. Now, secondly, promoting the event. So how many of you have tried promoting an event before? You put weeks of hard work into it, you contact all the JV partners, and then nobody turns up. Or worse, 2 or 3 people turn up. And I've definitely been there. So to help the coaches and trainers overcome this side of it, I created, first of all, the Fill It Fast Facebook ad formula. I'm a bit of a whiz when it comes to Facebook ads and driving traffic to my events. And I love Facebook because with Facebook ads, you can target specifically the exact people you want to come to your event. And when you match this with local marketing, remember, this is not online global trying to compete with all the big names. You're in your local business. There's going to be, I can guarantee there's going to be probably a maximum of one other person in your niche offering live events in your area. Probably none. So when you combine the local marketing with Facebook targeting, people are going to see your event and see that you're the only one offering this. It's instant differentiation, instant awareness, instant credibility. Now next, we don't just rely on Facebook. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You also want to look at our local domination media method. Now this is where we teach our students to look at media promotion, as I showed you, leveraging the media appearances we've done in Forbes and Cosmopolitan. And you also want to work with joint venture partners. So think about this right now. You should have a pen and paper ready. Take notes tonight. So the first thing I want you to write down just very quickly, just a couple of notes, is think of 1 or 2 people or businesses in your local area that also serve the same market that you want for your live events. Maybe it's a hair salon, maybe it's doctors, maybe it's schools, I don't know. Think of what other organizations, charities, or businesses speak to and engage with the people you want for your seminar. And see if you can joint partnership with them and have them send people to your event. And in return, maybe at your event, you can give them some advertising space. They could have a stall, or they could put a flyer on each of the seats, or maybe just a roll-up banner at the front, and they can sponsor your event. Okay, that's one thing to consider right now. That'll help you in conjunction with the Facebook advertising to start getting dozens and dozens of people at your events very quickly. Now we come to performing like a pro, and I apologize, I already did cover a little bit of this earlier. I was speaking in the wrong section, but the first part of performing like a pro is having the expert content framework. Now, this is where I was speaking earlier about those blank PowerPoint slides. I should have spoken that here. I made a mistake, sorry. So here, again, most speakers are staring at a blank PowerPoint, using too many slides, making their presentations boring, and people have to read everything off the screen. So I've already covered that. So you want to make sure then that to be engaging, you have the right structure in place, but also that's the physical side of being a speaker, the content, the structure, the presentation, but you also have the psychological side. And this is where we deliver to our students what we call the authentic presentation plan. Now, the authentic presentation plan is the main steps you need to become a charismatic speaker, an engaging speaker, how to present yourself on stage, and how to be a real influencer. Because remember, your content educates, but you need to also inspire people. Just teaching them is not enough. That's going to be boring. That's like a university lecture. You've got to be a bit of a presence. You can be authentic. You should be authentic. Doesn't mean you have to be all high energy like Tony Robbins, of course not. But you need to have show some element of your personality, because it'll be better for the audience and it'll be more fulfilling for you. You don't want to be like a robot on stage reading off slides. And then when it comes to profiting, this is where a lot of speakers drop the ball, because they see it as a hobby. Now, when I speak to a lot of speakers or people who've tried speaking, it tends to be that this is their plan. Listen up. I spoke to one coach yesterday, actually, just yesterday, and he told me that his plan so far was that, well, he'd spoken about 50 times over the last few months, so he's done a lot of speaking appearances. He's a good speaker. But when it comes to making sales, his approach was that, as he explained it, he said, I would do the talk, I would hope that raises my awareness, and then I hope, the keyword, people will go to my website and look for my products and pay for them. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I asked him basically, how's that working out for you? And he said, not good. So after he's done 50 events, he's spoken in front of crowds of between 50 to 1,000 people. He's a good speaker, a good expert. But because he did not know what I'm about to share with you about how to sell to the masses, I can't even imagine how much money this guy has potentially lost. For 50 events to an average of a few hundred people, this guy should be raking in at least £5,000 per free event, at least, and you should be too. All you need to know are these two things. First of all, the sell to the masses system. This is what I teach my clients. It's a 7-part formula which is all about how to pitch your products at your live events in a way that is authentic and comes from a place of giving. Okay, you need to learn to sell from the stage. Don't be afraid of it. Overcome your limiting beliefs, and I'll help you do that in just a bit later on this training. But the second part of that is also what we take our clients through, is the signature service creation. So like I said earlier, most speakers don't have the blueprint. They don't have the yellow box at the top. So they don't really know what they should be selling. And a lot of speakers, even if they do try to sell the complete wrong thing. And that's one of the reasons they don't get the sales, because they're selling the wrong thing. So I'm going to go into more depth on that later on, and I will teach you some stuff on that, if that's okay, to help you overcome your limiting beliefs or fears about selling on stage, and help you do it in a more authentic, valuable way, which allows you to raise your prices and make more sales. Does that sound good? All right, so let's move on a little bit. So I haven't got time today to go through all of these with you. I've given you that outline there of the whole thing. These are the elements you need to master. But today, I really want to dive deep on just a couple of things. I want to dive deep with you on the authentic presentation plan to show you how to be a great, charismatic, influential speaker. And then I'm going to go into a little bit on signature service creation and a little bonus section on some marketing too. Okay, so if that sounds good, let's get into it, guys. So the authentic presentation plan. All right, guys. So I hope, first of all, you're getting great value from this and you're enjoying this. If you're going to be a public speaker, this is the best stuff to learn. So right now, on your piece of paper, I want you to write down the side these letters. BPMEAT, or BP meet, as I like to say. Now that doesn't actually mean anything. It's just an acronym that I find easy to remember. BP meet, or BPM eat, whatever you want. Okay, but this just is an acronym for the main 6 teaching points, sorry, of being a good charismatic speaker and being authentic. So let's go into each of these. The first one, the B, stands for breathing. So have you noticed, guys, that public speaking is really just regulating breath? Okay, when you speak, speaking is breathing out. So really, a 90-minute talk is all about controlling your breath. Now, a lot of newbie speakers we see, they are nervous and they give away a lot of nervous tells, a lot of nervous signals, which you'll learn about today. And once you overcome all these nervous signals, you'll be a much more polished, 10 times better speaker immediately. I've seen breakthroughs and people become 10 times better speakers in just a couple of seconds when they identify the nervous, unconscious things they're doing and overcome them. So breathing is the first thing. The first nervous tell that a rookie speaker gives me, that I see, is they speak too quickly. And they're speaking really fast and trying to get all the information out. And they do that because they're afraid that the audience does not want to listen to them, and they're afraid that they need to then speak as fast as possible so they can finish, because they believe they're bothering the audience. And many people do this even in a one-to-one conversation. So I'd like you to practice, not just on stage, but wherever you go, whoever you speak to. If you speak to yourself as well, that's great. Slow down your speaking. Consciously slow it down. There's no rush. People want to listen to you. You are an expert. You have a gift. They want to pay you for your information. And the other thing about doing this, when you pause for breath, this pause, when you put more pauses in your speech, it really engages the audience. And you know, the really good thing about having lots of pauses, just like this, is that when you pause, your audience are drawn in, and you could be speaking absolute nonsense, but it still sounds important. Does that make sense, guys? So you see there, you probably got drawn in right then just from those pauses, and that's how you learn to effectively breathe. You catch your breath, but it engages the audience too. Slow it down. Okay, the second thing, guys, take more notes. Posture. Okay, of course, posture is a very critical part of being a public speaker. So I see this mistake even in a lot of very well-paid speakers, especially keynote speakers, who get paid not for their speaking ability, but they get paid for their celebrity status, basically. And if they just made a few adjustments in their posture, they could probably charge 10 times more because they'd be so much more powerful. So I'm going to show you a demonstration for this. This is harder to teach on a webinar. At my live events, I would teach this with a demonstration. But I found this picture online which sums this up very well. Now, on the left-hand picture, you see the akimbo stance, where the guy, this is what most men tend to do, thrusting their crotch out in front, showing off their groin, and then obviously the hands pointing towards there as well. So it's like, look at my groin. And this is another one of those nervous tells. This is the second nervous giveaway. Because what you're doing, what men tend to do subconsciously when they're nervous is go into this macho stance, or we can call it peacocking for a number of reasons. Okay, you're showing off and peacocking, showing off your groin. So men do this as a way of establishing dominance, but as this description shows here, that actually communicates that you have issues. It shows you're actually nervous or insecure in some way. So you want to avoid that stance. Now the next stance on the right-hand side is the arms behind the back. This is the second most common thing that rookie speakers will do. And it's so easy to fix. Now this one with the arms behind, it kind of says you have something to hide and you want to stay away from people. So again, what's really important here, guys, is this might look like little incy-wincy stuff, but it has two main significant impacts on your talk. The first thing is when you look nervous and have bad body language, it makes you feel worse. But secondly, it also stops the audience from getting drawn in and learning from you. So you're actually harming your audience. And the other thing is, when they can't get drawn in and they can't see you being confident, they're not going to go and make sales from you. If you want to make sales at the back of the room later on, you've got to look confident. Bad posture, I've seen some great speakers. They're like walking encyclopedias. They know their topic so well, and they have a great product at a great price. But because of their posture, they don't get any sales. Don't let that be you. So if we were judging these stances, this would be a big unlike. No way, don't do this. Okay, now what is a good posture? Well, this photo is from one of my private coaching students. His name is Bogdan. He is a martial arts trainer, and he has been now launching his career as a personal development speaker. So he's been teaching people confidence through martial arts for many years. We've started working together, and we're now putting him on stage. He's launched a public speaking career. This was a shot at his first or second event, where he had about 200 people in the room, of which 26 of those people then joined up to his martial arts program. So he made a good bit of money right there. And Bogdan shows great body language in this photo. So the main thing to take away here is he's standing tall. His chest is out, not the groin. The chest is out. He's standing tall. He has a smile, which always helps. And here he's showing a good stance with his hands. He shows he's very open and very confident. Another thing, he dresses the part as well. Okay, if you want to get taken seriously as a professional speaker, don't be afraid to wear a shirt. Okay, doesn't do any harm. So this is what we would say by Facebook, like. This is good stuff. Speak and stand like this. Okay, so next thing, guys, hope you're enjoying this so far. Next thing, we've covered breathing. We covered posture. Now we're on to M. Now this is a really important one. This is something, again, that gives away the next nervous movement you'll tend to have. And what this is all down to movement. Now what I find is most people, one of my clients actually, I do a lot of consulting, I train speakers all around the world, and my international students often send me videos of themselves. So I critique their videos and I give them feedback. So one new client I started working with recently, he sent me a video, a 10-minute video of a piece of his talk, and it's his first time. He's in his living room doing this video, and he was just pacing up and down, walking in circles. And this is something I see in a lot of new speakers. Basically what's happening is, this is another subconscious thing where you'll move around nervously so that if any danger happens, you're ready to run away. That's really what it is. So what I like to practice is, instead of focusing on our speech, because what happens is, as a speaker, we get so focused on what's coming out of our mouth, we focus on remembering the words so much, we don't take notice of our bodies. That's why the posture, that's why the breathing fall apart as well. So I want you guys to practice, again, every day, whoever you speak to, make this a daily habit. With your movement, focus more on your body awareness. Slow your movements down, keep your body still and present. Just like Bogdan did in the last slide, keep your body, practice keeping it still and robust. And have faith that the words will come. You're an expert on your talk, so the right words will come. You're not going to forget how much stuff you know about your topic in 90 minutes. Focus on getting the movement right, and the words will flow more easily out of you. So that's how to cover movement. Now, just to remember, guys, there's nothing special about me, and I want to remind you guys that you have this gift inside of you. And if you've made it this far in the video, well done, and thank you. Okay, because you can go out and do this. I didn't know this stuff. I'm from Wales. So if anyone, Welsh is one of the hardest, most ugly accents in the world, according to most people. So if you had told me that I would be a public speaker speaking in Europe, in Cyprus, in America, I'm speaking at an Ultimate Wealth Camp in Las Vegas this December, a little guy from the mountain in Wales. Okay, so if I can do this, I've just learned this, and I've learned how to speak more clearly and with more influence. So you can do it too. You're just going to follow these steps and practice them. I believe in you. So, what many people don't know is I've been a secret weapon for a lot of up-and-coming speakers and a lot of established big names as well. So this is just a quick shot of the Empowered Women event I told you about, where we launched a few months ago. This is our first event with 250 females in the room. We had some guest speakers there to talk about femininity and feminine energy. This is a picture of Bogdan again, who I've just shown you. He's launching his personal development career right now, and we're publishing a book for him in a few months' time. This is Johan, another one of my clients. Now, Johan is an expert in relationships, in dealing with toxic relationships with your partner or with your boss or your colleagues or whatever it might be. And this was his first event a couple of months ago, and he got 168 people in the room. Okay, and using our formulas that I've shown you there, he did that, and he's doing very well for himself. He has his next event coming up this week. And this is one of my superstar clients, Altia. She is a theta healing meditation coach. Now, she is a rock star. She took this concept and ran with it. Before we started working together just 2 months ago, and she had no public speaking experience before that. In her first month, Altia didn't put just one live event on. Well, she put one live event on and it filled up in 5 days using the Facebook formula and joint venture strategies I mentioned earlier. But she took action, and then she went to the next city in her country and booked another event, the same, filled it out in 5 days, then booked another one and another one. So she is now doing a tour every month. She is doing one seminar in 4 different cities in her country. And she's getting 200 to 250 people at every event for free. And she's promoting at the back end of that a workshop for 10 to 20 people each time. So she started from zero and she's halfway to a 6-figure income already within a couple of months. That's what I mean. This is the power of public speaking. So I want to show you these success stories just to inspire you. Okay, you can do this too. These guys were all beginners. So we've talked about movement, we talked about breathing and posture. The next thing, okay, this is really important to connect with your audience. Okay, you want to connect and build a bond. It's eye contact. The E is for eye contact. So what most speakers do is what we call the spray vision effect, where you speak on stage and you just kind of look everywhere nervously and don't really make eye contact. So this is one of those nervous tells, because if you can't make eye contact with somebody, it's a sign that you're nervous. So I've got a very simple applicable tip for this one. Basically, if you're on stage or even in a small group, all you need to do is make eye contact with someone in the audience, choose someone at random, hold eye contact with them for that entire sentence you're speaking. When you finish your sentence, you break the eye contact, find another random person in the hall and focus on their eyes and deliver that sentence or that thought. And then you move again. In other words, basically, you should hold eye contact with someone for about 4 to 5 seconds. Then pick somebody else. Then pick somebody else. And don't go back to the same people. When you get comfortable, you'll go back to the ones that you know are responding positively. But the more people you connect with, this is really what builds up to your sales. It's very powerful when if you're at an event and the big speaker is looking at you and delivers one of his big lines or an impact line or delivers some wisdom and looks you square in the eyes, you feel that connection. And this gives one of those basic human needs of significance that your audience really wants to feel. So actually, you can use this as a method to re-engage. If you see certain areas or certain people in the crowd that seem unengaged, which means they have their arms crossed. Okay, crossed arms are bad in a seminar. A person with crossed arms is saying they're not open to this information. And if they're not open to your influence and your education, they are not going to go and buy something. So whenever you see people with arms folded, if you just look at them, okay, you direct the next sentence at them, make contact, give them that significance, show them they're a part of this. And you'll just watch, you'll see they'll suddenly uncross their arms. And you've got those people back in the game. And if you spend, this is just literally, these simple things make all the money. So if you spend your seminar focusing on giving 4 seconds of eye contact to all the people that seem disengaged, you can probably boost your sales by 5% to 10% at the end, just by that alone, by staring at someone for 4 seconds. But this is the importance of rapport when it comes to making sales. So next, the next one is really critical. And the only way to stand out in this day and age is to be yourself. There's so many different people doing what you do, but the only thing they can't compete with is you and your personality. And people will connect with people. Your audience want to see that you're a real person, that you can be vulnerable, that you have a real story, and they want to see the real you. So the A is about authenticity. Authenticity. The real key, and this is the key to this whole thing, the authentic presentation plan. Authenticity is the big one. Whatever you do, please just be yourself. Now here's something to write down, guys. Here's a saying to write down. Remember this. Your audience don't want the perfect speaker. Write that down. Your audience do not want the perfect speaker. Your audience do want the speaker who's perfectly fine with themselves. Let me repeat that again. Your audience do not want a perfect speaker. They want the speaker who's perfectly fine being himself or herself. Okay, that's the key. Be yourself. It's not about being perfect, it's about being yourself. It's about embracing the imperfection. That's what will connect. That's what will make you an inspiring leader. That's what will make you sales. That's what will allow you to help more people than ever before. So the final one, the final step of this ladder today is T. And this is all about using your voice in the right way. We've talked about your breathing, your posture, your movement, your eyes, your personality. There's one thing left. Tonality. Now this is what will really separate you from the crowd. So even if there are other speakers in your industry, I bet you a lot of money they are not getting tonality right. And this can make or break an amazing presentation. This is how you lead people, how you influence people. It's all down to your voice. So let me introduce you to 3 voices that you already have inside of you. Remember, you have these gifts. It's not about being someone else. It's about finding the parts of yourself that you can express. So I'm going to give you 3 voices that are inside of you. The first one, it's the voice of wisdom. Now this voice, the voice of wisdom, this is used when you're really sharing something insightful, when you want people to think, when you want people to really reflect on what they're doing, and you want to impart great wisdom, and you'll speak more slowly with pauses and a softer, more direct tone, like this. Isn't that strange? You know, a lot of us are afraid to speak on stage because we try so hard to fit in, when really we were actually born to stand out. Isn't that interesting? So that's the voice of wisdom. You see there when you're delivering lines like that, or you're really trying to get them to think about something. The voice of wisdom, the guru, the sage, the wizard is that voice there. And then you go back to your baseline voice, which is just your regular normal voice like I'm speaking right now. So we have a baseline, and then we have 3 different expressions of voice. That's the first one. Second one, this is the power voice, the voice of power, the voice of leadership, the warrior, the instigator in you, the one who inspires people, the one who says, if you want to be a speaker, there are gifts inside of you. Are you going to get out there and help those people? Are you going to create the lifestyle you want for yourself? You said you want more money. You said you want more time. You said you want to help more people. Are you going to do that? It starts today. This is the voice. You're going to rally people up behind you and influence them. Okay, you have to educate people, but you have to influence and inspire them too. That's the voice of power. Tonality, then the final one, the voice of love. And the voice of love could also be called the voice of emotion. Now, this is where you want to connect with the audience when you show yourself being vulnerable. Maybe you want to share a story of a hard time in your life where you just remember that time when you couldn't pay the bills and you were scared and frightened and you didn't know what was going to happen. And the voice of love and emotion, it can be painful, it can be to express pain where it really connects with the audience like this. Or it can be more high energy and you can talk about the great things that happened and how that life is so much better now and you feel amazing on top of the world, that you learned the amazing system to help you in life and you love helping more people. It's the voice of emotion, or we call it love, because it's all about connecting with the audience. So wisdom, power, and love. This is all inside of you guys. And this is the skill of vocal tonality. What you need to do is learn how and where to use these approaches. Okay, there is a bit of a system to that I really can't have time to go into that depth today. But if you can use these and just vary them up, use your intuition, and you should know the right times to go into these different tonalities. So first of all, guys, I want to give you a little bonus section right now on promoting your event, because I don't want to give you all this information of being a great speaker, then you want to go out there and apply it, but you don't know how to promote it. So I mentioned Facebook ads are a great option already. Joint venture partners, you should have written down a couple of partners you can go and approach. And the next thing to look at, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that have helped me boost my income by at least a few €1,000 every month, or a few £1,000 in the UK. So the first thing is, you want to send your prospects to a specific registration page. What most speakers do is they send their traffic to a regular website page. And the thing is, with a regular website page, those pages on average have a less than 1% conversion rate. That means for every 100 people you get to that website, 1 or less will sign up to your event. That's why most coaches have nobody turning up to their events and they give up. Okay, power voice. So I understand the love voice. I understand, I've been there myself. I've done that. I'm not pointing fingers. I used to struggle with these things. And what I learned was that when you apply a landing page like this with very much fewer links, then you'll get much higher conversion rates. This is the landing page of a seminar I held back in May. And this one had, I think, a 23% conversion rate. But I've analyzed our landing pages over the last 18 months, whether it's for webinars or seminars or full day events or whatever it might be. Every free event we've done, our landing pages have had between 20 to 50% conversion rate. So for every 100 people I send to the website through Facebook or joint ventures or media, 20 to 50 of those 100 will sign up. So that's how I've been able to fill my events time after time after time. It's simple, guys. These little tweaks make all the difference, as you can see. If you have more links on your landing page, then if you give the person more options, they're less likely to take the option you want them to take. So send them to a direct landing page where they sign up for the event or they get lost, and your conversions will shoot up and you'll fill your events much quicker. Now, I'm going to share with you guys another little strategy. I've never shared this publicly. This is a little trick I give my one-to-one clients who pay me £10,000 to work with minimum. And I've never shared this outside here. Who would like to learn how to make several thousands of pounds before you even have your event? Would that sound good? All right, well, pay attention. Here's what we've done. So this is a screenshot of a thank you page from a little while back before our coaching program was fully booked. I'm fully booked with one-to-one clients right now, but before that, this is one of the methods I would use to fill up my coaching program. So basically, as the traffic comes through this registration page, they're now sent to a thank you page. Now, does this make sense, guys, that somebody has signed up for your seminar? They're obviously in pain. They want to come to your event because your event is giving them information to overcome that pain. But your event might be in 3 or 4 weeks' time from when they register. So does it make sense to you that we can help these people immediately? Why let them wait in pain for 4 weeks? So I like to put a video on the thank you page which gives more value. So straight away they sign up, they have a free seminar they're invited to. Then the next page they get a video from me saying, hey, here's some more tips for you you can use right now. So can you see, guys, how this is building trust, building goodwill, and building authority in their eyes immediately? Now this is a couple of things. First of all, it pre-frames you as the leading expert before they come to the event. So they're going to turn up to the event now with a whole different perception of you. If they see you on video and you've helped them already, they're going to like you, know you, and trust you even more. That means you're basically qualifying your prospect. You're making them a more valuable prospect. So when they turn up to the event, there's more chance they're going to like you even more and they're going to buy from you. But here's the really cool thing. Here's the real trick in all of this. As you can see at the bottom of that page, we offer them a one-to-one consultation right then and there. So they're in pain. We offer them some value to show that we know what they're going through. And then we say, hey, as a special thank you for signing up to this seminar, you can apply below for a one-to-one consultation with us. And then we take those clients through the one-to-one consultation. We give them some help. We give them a roadmap of how to solve their problem in life, whether it's their finances or their health or their relationships. And of course, if they're a good fit for our coaching program, we'll make an offer to them on the call. So we ran this before. I think we had about 200 people. No, that was wrong. So I can't remember the exact numbers, but I remember that we signed up a few hundred people for a seminar. They came through the registration page. And I remember we had 15 consultations booked in from that before the live event even happened. People were opting in and then applying for a consultation with us. I think we signed up 5 clients from those consultations, 5 one-to-one coaching clients. And remember, I charge a lot of money, several thousands of pounds. We signed up about 5 clients before the seminar even started. I reached my financial goals before the seminar even happened. So at the seminar, I changed the product and I introduced a new product instead. So if you can do that, that's going to help you boost money. If you just get one client out of it, at least it might even cover the costs of your event. You see, and you've built your list for free, and you get to pitch to a few hundred people for free. So that's a real insider tip right there, guys. Keep it to yourselves, make sure you apply it, and I'd love to know your results. So that's a little bit on promoting your event. Now, we want to get to the signature service creation formula. So this is only a small part of this. My students and I go through this for a whole day on creating your back-end signature service. Because like I said, it needs to fit in with what you're promoting. Your talk, your presentation, and your product need to fit together so it makes sense for the prospect. So I'm going to give you a few questions to start asking so that you can see more value in what you offer and you can rebrand it. You can rebrand your programs and services in a way that is more desirable for the prospect and gives more value from your perspective. So you have less sales fear and you feel better about, you should feel more excited about offering this. So the first question is this: what is the end result or experience my client wants to achieve? Now you see, most coaches and speakers start the opposite way around. They usually start with the deliverable. They say, should I write a book? Should I do a boot camp? Should I run a coaching program? Should I do a retreat? Should I make a podcast? None of that matters. The delivery of the product is just the media. That's not relevant. What's relevant is what you deliver. So start with the end in mind of what does the client want? What can my program give somebody? Can I help them lose 10 kilos in 6 weeks? Can I help them double their sales in 6 months? Can I help them get their relationship back on track in 30 days? What can I do? If you can add a time frame to it, that's even better. So think of the experience or the specific result your client on average wants to achieve. Okay, ask that first. Once you know that result or experience, then ask, what are the 3 to 5 main principles they must learn to get from A to B? So if point A is where your customer is right now, in pain, struggling, has frustrations in life, and point B is where they want to be, remember at the beginning we talked about having a vehicle to get there. So what is the vehicle you are going to provide? What are the 3 or 5 steps they must learn? I gave you 4 principles today. I told you you need to plan your events, promote your events, perform at your events, and profit from events. That's my 4 principles. What are your 3 to 5 main principles? Now this gives you like the modules or chapters of your program, basically. Finally, you ask, how can I leverage my time to serve more people at once? So again, guys, let's go back to the beginning. Do you remember I asked you at the start of this workshop, I asked you, do you want to make more money, but without sacrificing more time? And didn't you tell me, didn't you agree that you want to help more people and make more of a difference, but you want to do it by working small amounts of time and making large amounts of money? You wanted leverage in life, yes? So you can spend more time on your own life, with your own kids, with your own partner, on your own enjoying the money you're creating for helping so many people. So you've got to come up with the right product that is going to serve your current goals. So for some of you, that might be taking 3 people onto an exclusive semi-private retreat at £1,000 per person. It may be creating a membership site for £29 a month where you get 1,000 people a month. It may be somewhere in the middle, and for most speakers I recommend somewhere in the middle where you can work with a semi-private group of students and charge relatively high amounts. So what I typically offer from the end of my seminars and webinars is a boot camp, usually some kind of implementation live boot camp for 2 or 3 days. And I usually take between 20 and 30 people on one of these boot camps. And for example, I have a Selling to the Masses speaker camp, and the next one is in Bucharest this coming September. If you're interested in flying over, just contact me, I'll let you know about that. but I'll take 20 people in this case for the speaking event, and I will charge between 500 euros to 1,000 euros per person. So that way, if I speak to 200 people at my event, I will sign up at least 20 at 1,000 euros each. I'll make 20,000 euros from my boot camp, but at the boot camp, I will then sell a higher priced product again, an elite product. And usually 40 to 50% of people on that boot camp who are more qualified because they've paid money to be there will ascend and pay your higher fees. So you see, you can make money on the first product you sell and the next product after that. So this is how you want to start thinking about your live events. Start thinking about the money you make on the back end. Okay, so that's that. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you got some great value out of that. It's just a sneak peek, a sample of what I teach at my boot camps and what I teach to my private students. So you can do this. Just to show you guys, 18 months ago, I started really doing this properly as a strategy. Before that, I would do one event every few months as a fluke. But now I learned the systems, and when you apply the systems, you're going to succeed. You have that gift inside of you. If you have that pain, then you should be on stage helping more people. And that's why I believed, public speaking and workshops and live events is the best way for coaches, trainers, and speakers, at least for most of them. It's the best way to earn more money, several thousands of pounds more than you earn currently. The easiest, fastest way to 6 figures. Because think about it, you could get to 6 figures in 28 days with one event. Think about this, you could hold one event, you could promote it over the next month, you could get 100 people in the room next month for free, and if you can sell 10 people out of 100 onto a £1,000 a month program, you're earning £10,000 a month. Done. So you see the power in this. You won't get that kind of power as much on a webinar. You won't get it from a sales page. You won't get it from videos. After one-to-one selling, seminars are the most powerful way for you to grow your brand, become an authority, become a leader, and have a fulfilling life helping more people and earn the amount of money in 90 minutes that you used to earn in a month. Okay, so this is Justin Devonshire from Born to Succeed. And again, thank you, subscribers and readers of Princess Fizz. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. You guys rock. If you've made it all the way to the end here, I applaud you. I am fully open for questions. You can find me on Facebook. I am happy to help you out with anything else I can. All right, go to it, guys. Go and do it. The people need you.